Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. I hope this really works. I hope this works. No, no, no. Check. Guess it doesn't matter. No, no, no. Can you guys hear me all right? The connection, YouTube tells me my connection is garbage and it is rated bad and that it sounds and looks awful. I suspect that's incorrect. Turn it up a little. You turn it up a little bit. I'm maxed out, dog. How's everyone doing on this lovely Monday? This is my high gain tone. High gain. Yeah, the video might get a little choppy as it kind of spools up with the buffer. Honestly, so do I still use Persona Studio One? Sometimes. It does really weird stuff when you're screen capping, and a lot of my bandmates still use Logic. So honestly, I've been basically back in Logic. Jasco, thank you for subbing. I saw the new Slipknot song. I have not heard it. Josh from Dragged Under, co-host, was like, "Yo, this slaps. Must be pretty good." I heard it's heavy. So Etsy is buying Reverb. Did you see that? That's pretty crazy. I didn't see that coming. Although it does make total sense, and I'm glad that Reverb wasn't bought by eBay or, some huge conglomerate. Etsy's cool. Earplugs I recommend. Eargasm earplugs are awesome. Thoughts on the floor Kemper? I think, I don't know. For such an innovative company, I think it's a shame that they just once again repackaged their 7-year-old tech at this point. They didn't change the display, didn't change anything. It's bulky looking. There's no scribble strips, meaning there's no screens above the foot switches telling you what the patch is. You just have numbers. Like, that's old school stuff, man. I don't know. It's disappointing for me. Are producers worth it for DIY musicians? Yes. An outside perspective working on your songs is always a plus. Always bring in someone who's better than you, well, more versed than you, to really give you guys an outside opinion. Witness, Dragged Under. The songs that you guys have heard, those were all written when we were still Rest Repose, but Hiram, our producer, was the one that came in. That's the difference between these songs and the Rest Repose stuff. Hiram came in and went, change that, extend that chorus, change that to a C. It was just he was working with us and he had a guitar in his hand, and that's the difference a producer can make. Thank you, Fedo. CHF2, is that money? Where are you? Why was whoever owned Reverb selling it in the first place? That kind of scares me a little. David he started out when he owned Chicago Music Exchange. He started Reverb to answer the problem of the convoluted eBay process. That was it. And then it kind of blew up from there. He wants to go back to, selling cool vintage guitars at Chicago Music Exchange. Reverb is its own thing. It's so huge now. I have not played the Fort in Cali. I hear it's awesome. And for those of you who are in California, Drag Nunder is playing next week, this upcoming weekend, in Santa Cruz, and then at the Catalyst, and then Chain Reaction in Anaheim. Please come out. It is going to be... We're gonna get crazy. Do I like Parkway Drive? I love Parkway Drive. Huge Parkway Drive fan. Drag Nunder does have their own YouTube channel. Just gotta search it. There's only the hypochondria video on it currently. Are we gonna film these shows? No, we're not gonna film them. I don't think. I don't know, maybe. Do I have any recommendations for a DAW build for PC? Persona Studio 1 is pretty solid. Cubase works really well in PC too. Earplugs. Yes, Eargasm. Eargasm earplugs. If you could go back and be in any new school metal band, what band would you be being in the least? New school metal band? Define new school. Rev D20, love it. Ghost in Seattle. No, I will not be at the Ghost show in Seattle. I will actually be in Los Angeles. I will be going to the Portland one instead, though. Favorite Mastodon song? Sea Beast or... Oh, man, that's so tough. Sea Beast or Oblivion? Kyle, thank you very much. Any experience the Duncan Parallel Axis Distortion? I have not tried the Parallel Axis Distortion. I hear it's really cool. I have a friend of mine, James, up in Seattle, at the Guitar Store, Seattle, that's painted like Van Halen on the outside. He tells me it's really, really cool. Thoughts on Sleeping with Sirens? I love the music. Their new music is great. The singer, I have a hard time with the singer for my personal tastes. He's a great singer. The super high-pitched stuff, it's not really for me. I'll be totally honest. Oh, is the Slipknot album coming out on the 9th of August? Best Ernie Ball Music Man guitar ever. The Stingray. The Stingray. Can you talk about your thoughts on System of a Down? System of a Down is one of those bands that don't give a shit, and they do what they want. It's sad that stuff like songwriting royalties and money have come between them, because they are all so talented, and I wish they would give the world some new music, because those dudes are just absolutely phenomenal and some of the best at what they do. I can't say enough good things about System of a Down. I remember when the first album dropped, I was in high school and someone played it next to me on their Walkman, and I was like, what is that? And they're like, Sugar! It was crazy. Love that band so much. Favorite JHS episode? I really love the Big Muff episode. The Behringer one's pretty cool too. I don't know, JHS is so sick. Thoughts on Tesseract? Amazing music. One of the most boring live shows I've ever seen in my life. Plans on making a camper profile pack? Not a chance, maybe. Warren Hewart, you guys may know from Produce Like a Pro, has toyed around with the idea of flying up here and profiling all of my amplifiers at London Bridge Studio. He's toyed with it. If he wants to do that, he is welcome to. And we would do like my cabs, because I have some pretty cool cabs, amps, like everything I have would be profiled. But we'll see. Do I dig any instrumental music? Cloud Kicker and intervals, specifically. Any sort of Dragged Under studio vlogs coming out? No, not really. At the time, we were snowed in. It was back in February when we wrote all this stuff that you guys have heard so far. And we were snowed in, and we were busy working. And it was really hard to stop being creative to videotape stuff. Hiram's coming up again right after we get back from tour, so maybe we'll do that one. I did sell my Bugera Triarch many years ago. Many years ago. It's funny the amount of people that still will ask me about some random piece of gear, like, do you have that red 7-string Schecter still? What happened to that? Like, yeah, I sold that like 5 years ago. Are you still playing Gibson RDs? Did you play something else? I actually had a guy once, legit, he was not kidding, ask me my thoughts on the Balaguer Hyperion because he thought it looked pretty cool and he wanted my thoughts on it. I was like, okay. Sterling guitars by Ernie Bob Music Man are great bang for the buck guitars. Thoughts on this? Thoughts on that? Hey man, it's a live stream. It's all good. You know why I do these live streams for FAQ Monday? It's because I can't get enough questions to make multiple episodes of FAQ Mondays. People simply just have stopped asking questions. It's crazy. So, but if I do a live stream, I'll get enough questions for weeks of FAQ Mondays. So, ask away. Thoughts on buying an AliExpress RD just to scratch the itch? I didn't know they made an RD, for one. Two, I don't know. Get what you want, man. And if that's what you want, fine. But like, don't get it just to get something, because then you're out that amount of money that could have gone towards an actual legit RD-ish guitar. Why don't I play 7 strings? I like 7 strings. I've had 7 strings. For me, this is the analogy that I can come up with that best describes how I feel about 7 strings. 7 strings to me feel like when you have to suddenly drive someone else's car that you've never driven before, and you're kind of like, okay, I get how to do this, but it's just, this isn't comfortable. That's what 7 strings feel like to me. I'm just not into them. They're fun. They're a lot of fun. 8 string is too. Are RME's interfaces worth it? Yes. Top-notch stuff. Very, very good, high-quality stuff. Superior Drummer versus Get Good Drums. I love both of them. I use both of them. Primarily, though, I use Get Good Drums these days. Why haven't you done my rig on Ready to Roast My Rig? Well, we just shot 2 more yesterday with Josh. We have thousands and thousands of entries, so I don't know. We go through and pick the ones that we think will, because honestly, like, most of the rigs that we get are amazing rigs. How am I supposed to rate, or how am I supposed to roast awesome rig after awesome rig after awesome rig. So there has to be a give and take when I pick the rigs, right? There has to be some awesome ones. There has to be some really crappy ones. I can't just roast, 10 Kemper rigs in a row, because honestly, that's what it would look like if I took them in order. Yep, you have a Kemper. Yep, you have a powered Kemper and a 412 cabinet. Yep, seen that. Like, I don't know. I need something of substance, if that makes any sense. What is the bare minimum for recording digitally? An interface and a computer and a guitar. Bruce, what's up, dude? Thank you. I appreciate you. I can't stand the vocals on most mainstream rock. Things like Breaking Benjamin, 3 Days Grace, etc. It's all doubled vocal track and reverb, all very similar. Can you expand on this, being an engineer yourself? Yes. Honestly, what that often is the singer hating his own voice, which is so common. So like Dave Grohl, for example, is another good example of what you're talking about. The big rock songs that have just tons and tons of stuff on the vocal, doubled, reverb, delay. It's because they hate their own voice. And when the mix engineer goes to make it like how they would normally make it, the singer 9 times out of 10 is usually like, I hate that sound. Can you do something to it? And that's why you have all the doubled vocals with the tons of effects. Honestly, that sounds like such a stupid answer, but it's the singers hating their voice and being very, very uncomfortable with their voices. And I believe Bruce was one of the first patrons on the Patreon page, which I am adding a perk. Anyone who signs up for the Patreon at any level will get, I'm ordering them, they're on their way, will get a fluff sticker and a pick. One of my my picks, my custom picks. How do I feel about AC/DC touring in 2019? Man, if they don't have Brian Johnson, get out of here. That band is out of gas live. I feel like they're so old now, which sucks to say. I love AC/DC. But if they have Brian Johnson, I'm in. You'll be a patron if I drink tea on camera. I've drank tea on camera before. You guys always get offended when you see anything other than what you perceive as coffee in my cup. Even though I never say it's coffee. Because sometimes I record these at like 8 o'clock at night. So, hey, how come we're not drinking coffee? Like, it's 8 o'clock at night. It's Red Bull. Or beer. Bruce, where are you moving? Dude, where are you going? You can't leave. I didn't approve that. Best recording microphone for guitar. Audix i5, SM57. Dude, there's a million of them for guitar. SM57 is like the classic go-to. I have not listened to Slipknot's new song yet. I saw that it came out. I had to do this. And I had to edit the newest Raider Roast My Rig. Will I tell the story of the crate amp on fire? We show up to the gig, and basically I have a little crate GX15 combo, and the sound guy was horrible, and he was an asshole, and he was trying to take a DI out of it like he would on the bass guitar, but the guitar doesn't have a DI. But he won't listen to me. I was like, dude, that doesn't have a DI. It's a guitar amp. He takes it from the power amp out into the board, which is a huge impedance issue. And he basically overloaded my amplifier by pulling too much power from the board. I can't believe he didn't fry the board. And I'm playing, and my guitar tone goes out and then comes back in. Out and back in, and then my bass player buddy Brian is like, and I turn around, and like there is black smoke, and there's a little bit of fire coming out the back of the fucking amp. It sucked. And I look over at the sound guy, and he's like this. Like he's blaming me. He was such an asshole. How many mugs do I have? Too many. My lady actually told me the other day, she's like, you have to get rid of some of these. I was like, no, I like them all. Even though I can't drink from half of them. I like Breaking Benjamin. Jeez, you guys are really curious about Breaking Benjamin. Okay. Timothy, thank you very much. Where did I get the panels behind me? Vacoustic USA. Is Hamburglar still around? McDonald's, the big purple guy? Carnival. So sick. How many guitars is too many? That's a trick question. There's no such thing. I Prevail is cool. Do I still get down on the Switch? Yes. I just beat Doom. I love that game so much. I've played it twice now. We're getting ready to go on tour, and the guys like to play Smash Brothers, but I've never played Smash Brothers, so I just downloaded it. I'm trying to catch up, but I find it very difficult to kind of control. Maybe it's something I'm doing, but I know there's like specific moves you have to do in Super Smash Brothers, but I'm trying to play Super Smash Brothers. First song I ever learned how to play, I believe, was Teen Spirit. I modeled this guitar after Kurt Cobain's Mustang in the Teen Spirit video. It's supposed to look like a 60s Mustang. I like it a lot. Bruce, thank you, by the way. Breaking Benjamin is young dad rock, basic Kyle garbage. Where did the Kyle thing come from? I don't understand that. Did I miss something? Dude's wearing monster shirts and pseudo hard rock fans. Well, Jared Dines' favorite band is Breaking Benjamin, so. Dustin, thank you so much, man. Thoughts on Chris leaving Lamb of God? So, us in the industry, I will say, he left Lamb of God like a year ago. Officially. But they just have waited for the right timing to announce it. He's off doing his management thing. He's tired of just being on the road for 9 months a year and not being able to see, his family and stuff. And the guys were basically like, from what I understand, the rest of the band was just like, yeah, we get it. And that it was as simple as that, from what I heard. But it was like, they're not enemies or anything like that. It was just like, he was just like, guys, I'm tired. Oh yeah, I was thinking of Grimace, my bad. Best budget interface. I mean, the Focusrite stuff is really good. Ernie Ball Music Man Sub 1 guitars are sick. How do you feel about Volbeat? I have heard some of the new tracks. They're alright. They sound like the same old. It's just the same stuff, man. I had a friend that was from their country that I used to work with back in, 10 years ago, 10 plus years ago. They had one album out, and he was like, dude, you got to check out this band called Volbeat from back where I'm from. And I was like, Volbeat, huh? He was like, yeah, they kind of sound like a Social Distortion, rockabilly, but heavier guitars. And I was like, okay. And I loved them. Their first couple albums were great. Bryce, thank you very much. How likely is Dragged Under and For the Likes of You? Touring? Pretty decent, I would say. Bruce, yeah, you're probably right. Cher meets Metallica? That's funny. Wow. That's accurate. Polyphia's sick. I tried to give them their own signature JST guitar amp sims at one time. How do you get gigs as an audio engineer for live shows? That's a good question. My buddy Chris, former drummer of Rest Repose, he went out with our buddies in Enterprise Earth, and he did a tour with them as their sound guy. On that tour, they did one show with August Burns Red and Silent Planet. Silent Planet and Traders took him out from there, and now he's mixing Silent Planet like full time, I think. You just got to get in that one tour. Have I played a comparison before? Yeah, I played the Joel from Killswitch's comparison. It was amazing. The PV Invective cab is cool. It's a V30 and a creamback. I have one. Frank, thank you very much. Thoughts on the Charvel signature? I don't know how to spell that or say that. I know what you're talking about. It looks pretty decent. The new Charvel stuff coming out looks really cool. I would love to actually play one. How do you get your basement smell out of the guitar cabs? Wash it, wipe it down with Lysol, and set a bunch of incense, or man, even like with the guitar cases, the fabric anti-static sheets. Yeah, that's what I do. Favorite Seymour Duncan humbucker? The JB. I would say the JB. Any Tube Screamer alternatives that accentuate the low mids? I mean, there's a bunch of pedals that do that. The Ghoul Screamer from KDHK is cool. Some of the JHS stuff. Do I collect vinyl records? Loosely, yeah. I have a lot of vinyl. Have you played a Kenny Coon? No, what is that? Russian Made Squire. No, I don't know what that is. Born to Rock, Forced to Work. Thank you very much, sir. I have a PRS MT15. Awesome. And it's almost too loud for apartment playing. Tips on how to combat this. Because I love the amp and don't want to get rid of it. You're going to have to get a Torpedo Live. Or some kind of a load box. A Torpedo Capture and pipe it into your computer and load an IR. That's what I would do. It's a difficult thing because, loud amps are sick, but mad girlfriends are not sick. Or loud neighbors are not sick. What was the best show you ever played so far? Rest Repose and Sales in Chain Reaction was really fucking off the hook. Headlining Atlanta, Georgia at the Masquerade. Rest Repose played, and it was like 250 kids, and they were literally trying to bang down the door to get in. And that was when Jared crowd surfed in the middle of the show, and we played like 3 encores, and like we ran out of songs to play, so they were just like, play Retrospect again. So like we played it twice more. It was crazy. What a crazy night. That was one of the craziest shows I've ever played in my life. Tips on promoting mix services. The best promo that you can do for your mixing services is to mix bands that are doing stuff. Do some for free. And instead of them paying you, ask them to tag you and to specifically say mixed by you on the socials. That's literally the best thing you can do, because then people are going to go, oh yeah, I'm going to hit him up too. Josh in Dragged Under and this channel, Josh Wildhorn, he makes a living off of being a mix engineer, and it's all word of mouth. So, and he's good. You got to be good. That's the other part. But I'm assuming you're decent if you're doing it for people. That sounds cool. Sovtech preamp tubes and JJ power tubes. Slightly different, but basically the same. I like JJ's a lot. Thank you, Clark. I really appreciate it. I love the Relish guitar. Attenuators are good too. You can get an attenuator. Attenuator is a great option as well if you still want to have some volume in the room. Talk about the new Kemper floor gimmick. They're just, in my opinion, well, not my opinion. They repackaged their 7-year-old, 8-year-old tech at this point. They didn't change anything. It's still the really terrible display, no touchscreen, no anything. It looks like an 80s synthesizer, and it's so damn ugly. I'm sorry, but it is. Disappointing. Are there any 26.5-inch scale baritones that you would recommend? Schecter, does Schecter still make a baritone? My old SLS was a 26.5-inch scale. It was really good. What camera do you use for this live stream? Same camera as I use for all of my videos. It's a Canon EOS R. You have an old triple rec. What can you do? You can crank up and you can slay some riffs, bro. Bruce, yes, their 8-year-old tech does sound killer, but I think we can all agree their menu system could be a lot better. They could have some kind of an desktop editor. They are not perfect. Although I will say, when Josh had his camper that he was using with Dragon Under, every single tone and every single profile had this bizarre top-end sizzle to it. And it was so annoying in the in-ears. I didn't like it at all. Ordered a new set of Mammoth Slinkies. Any tips on how to put them on my Ernie Ball Music Man Axis? Get it professionally set up if you're going that heavy. Do not just try to throw them on yourself. Take it to a shop. Pay the $25 to get it set up. I'm begging you. You will get so much more out of them. I do like Baby Metal. Favorite Ghost song? Oh, man. Favorite Ghost song? Mummy Dust is cool. I really like Faith. The heavier ones. Square Hammer. Oh, what's the song off the first record? Dun 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 bum 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 dun bum bum dun bum. You can hear more of the rev amp on the Helix if you come to a Dragged Under show. Tungsteel 12AX7s are cool. Am I a fan of black metal like Behemoth? Actually, when I'm cleaning the house or something like that, I put on Behemoth. Behemoth is so sick. The new EVH 5150 guitars, the Kramer looking ones, they're cool. Zach, thank you very much. How do you combat feeling uninspired to play and write? I take my mind off it. I don't try to force it anymore. I used to try to force it and power through it. I don't do that anymore. I just kind of go off and listen to something else. Inspiration comes and goes, and that's okay. You can't be inspired all the time. Why so much hate for the JCM 900s? I'm not sure. The dual reverbs are so sick. The non-dual reverb 900s, I don't like at all. I would love to own a dual reverb, though. Am I a fan of the newer metalcore like Silent Planet? Yeah. Dragged Under merch. Yes, merchnow.com. And we will also have some exclusive stuffs on tour. Where is it? We just got stickers too. We got stickers of the D logo. Tim, thank you very much. I appreciate you. This Epiphone Les Paul Custom is being given away. Sweetwater. Well, thank you for hanging out, everyone. With the live FAQs, I want to do these more often, and the more we tour, the more I will have to do these live. So, am I a fan of Avatar? I saw them live with Trivium, and I was blown away. They were so good. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go eat some lunch. That's what I'm going to go do, guys. But I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for hanging out. And yeah, we'll do another live stream very soon. I'm going to try to do these every few weeks or so. But yeah. I'll see you guys later. Where's the ending button? Oh, there it is.